While most Africans can trace their ancestry roots, there are those who can't. We are talking about African Americans. Thanks to the slave trade about 400 years ago, millions of Africans were uprooted from their roots, and those who survived eventually settled outside the continent, especially the US. Since then, only a few African Americans have tried to trace their origins and return home. However, in recent times, more and more Black Americans are joining the Back to Africa movement, not just to retrace their ancestral origins, but also to settle. Among them are several Hollywood celebrities. Thanks to DNA testing and platforms like ancestry.com, these celebrities have been able to trace their ancestry origins to Africa and replant their roots. But who are they? And what did they do with their discovery? Let's find out. If there's any Hollywood actor who has consistently beaten expectations, it's Samuel L. Jackson. Every movie he has acted in, from Spike Lee joints to Tarantino thrillers, Star Wars, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is fire. In 2019, he was named Hollywood's most bankable star, with films grossing a total of $13 billion. However, while Samuel L. Jackson has the most recognizable faces on the planet, the Hollywood superstar didn't quite know where that face came from until recently. Like all African Americans, Samuel L. Jackson was descended from people who were enslaved, as such leaving a question mark over his origins. However, just as the Back to Africa movement began, Samuel decided to trace his origins and embarked on a process of genealogy and DNA testing. The result? He was from the Benga tribe in Gabon, one of the ethnic groups within the Bantu-speaking community.
Combined with finding my ancestry and going into ancestry.com and finding out that I was tribally connected to the Benga tribe in Gabon.
The Bantu ethnic group is a diverse group of ethnic communities spread across a vast area of sub-Saharan Africa, stretching from Central Africa across the African Great Lakes to Southern Africa. These groups share a common linguistic heritage, speaking various Bantu languages that tie them together across national and geographical boundaries. Within this vast ethnic group is the Benga tribe, a seafaring, fierce, and storytelling tribe. After this discovery, the Hollywood superstar did not rush to organize a party to celebrate his roots. Rather, he decided to pay a visit to his ancestral roots. In 2019, he packed his bag, booked a flight, and stepped foot on his ancestral home in Gabon for the first time. In his documentary titled Enslaved, where he shared his journey, Samuel L. Jackson explained the joy he felt on coming home. He said, "A lot of people tried to trace themselves and find out where they came from. All they could find out was maybe a country. So to go through what I went through, to find out what tribal ancestry I had, and to be able to step back into, it was a really emotional, satisfying feeling. There's a fullness that comes upon me every time I land in Africa. As I step on the ground, everything sort of changes." On arrival, Jackson was warmly welcomed both by the government of Gabon and the Benga people. In fact, the Gabonese president at the time personally offered him his citizenship papers. For Jackson, this was coming home. So he made sure to enjoy and explore every bit of Gabon. He visited historic sites, tried the local dishes, joined traditional dances, and listened to stories. He also met with the king of Benga, who warmly embraced him. Much later, Samuel revealed that his journey of life has become so clear with the meeting he had with the monarch. He took to his Instagram saying, "When you meet the king of the Benga, your ancestral tribe, and he turns out to be your best friend Skeeter. When you're on a journey of discovery and a life choice becomes clear." The Benga people clearly embraced Jackson with open arms. This embrace was not merely symbolic, it was an act of cultural reclamation and deep connection. The Benga people inducted him into their tribe, offering him rare and unprecedented access to their secret ceremonies and local customs. It was a powerful acknowledgement of Jackson's place within a rich and enduring cultural lineage. The Bantu people, with their deep traditions and communal values, provided Jackson with a tangible link to his ancestors, something that is often lost in the African diaspora. But Samuel L. Jackson is not the only Hollywood superstar that has traced his roots to Gabon. 1 year after Jackson made this huge disobeyed snap visit to Gabon, another Hollywood star made the same discovery. His name is Ludacris, an African-American rapper and actor. Ludacris, real name Christopher Brian Bridges, has made a name for himself in Hollywood. He is a fantastic rapper, actor, famous for his role in Fast and Furious, and he's basically living the dream life with his wife and kids. But for Ludacris, the greatest gift in his life wasn't any of this. It was when he received his Gabonese passport. In an Instagram video of the moment he acquired citizenship, posted to the social media site, he said, "I just became an official citizen of Gabon, of Africa." While flashing his new passport, he joked, "I am a loyal citizen of Zamunda. I mean Gabon. This is the greatest day of my life. And Wakanda." All of that. Ludacris also confirmed that his mother and his 2 daughters also received Gabonese citizenship. He also took to Twitter to share the news, writing, "Starting my new year off with dual citizenship. Africa, I'm official." Interestingly, his wife Eudoxie Mbugienga is Gabonese. But Ludacris didn't decide to visit Gabon or acquire Gabonese citizenship because of his wife. No, he is one of the few African-American celebrities that have been building bridges with Africa for years. He has been very vocal about his love for Africa. In 2019, when the Ghanaian government launched the Year of Return to commemorate the 400th anniversary of the arrival of a group of Africans to Virginia, Ludacris was among the Africans in the diaspora that celebrated it. He even paid a visit to Ghana and spent several weeks there, exploring Ghana and learning about Africa's history. In December 2019, he uploaded a selfie to Instagram from Ghana, wearing a Year of Return t-shirt at a male slave dungeon in Cape Coast, a site built by Europeans where victims of the slave trade began brutal journeys across the Atlantic. In the caption, he wrote, "Our ancestors never gave up faith. You can never imprison our minds nor our spirits. They empowered me to return. I have completed the cycle, and I'm beginning a new cycle. The chains have been broken, and the indomitable resilience of African people triumphs." Beside this, Ludacris has also collaborated with several African artists and even invested in African communities. While his move to Africa is not permanent, he has made it his thing to frequently visit Gabon. In fact, just a few months ago in July, the rapper and his family returned to Gabon to bond and celebrate their ties to the country. They were warmly received by the locals on arrival. Ludacris has begun to use his platforms to encourage African Americans to stop treating Africa like a vacation spot and start seeing it as a home base, a place to belong, settle and thrive. So far, we've talked about African American male celebrities who have traced their roots to Africa. But way before Samuel L. Jackson and Ludacris traced their ancestral roots, one female African American celebrity had already done so. We are talking about Tiffany Haddish, actress famous for her role in Girls Trip, comedian and author.
So now it means the world to me because I can go and see my family. I can rebuild my family home. I'm probably going to open up a resort there.
In January 2018, Tiffany paid a visit to Eritrea for the first time to reconnect with her extended family and to bury her father, who is a citizen of the country. It was an emotional experience for her as she got to explore her roots. In an interview, she said, "I felt like my heart was being healed," she says, describing her emotional experience in the Red Sea. "I've been through a lot of things. I was trying to figure out, who am I? And now I have a way better understanding of who I am, why I'm on this earth, what my purpose is." Her strong sense of connection to Eritrea is thanks to her father, who instilled in her a strong sense of pride in her heritage, despite being raised in the US. In the same year, she walked the red carpet for the 2018 Academy Awards dressed in traditional Eritrean attire, attracting media attention. "My father was from Eritrea, and before he died last year, he told me that one day I'd end up here. He said, 'I'm honouring my fellow Eritreans if I ever end up at the Oscars to honour my people,'" Haddish explained. In 2019, Haddish visited Eritrea again, this time during the country's 28th anniversary of the Eritrean People's Liberation Front. At the capital city in Asmara, people dressed in colourful Eritrean attire to celebrate the liberation, and among them celebrating this historic moment was Tiffany Haddish. After the celebrations, she was granted Eritrean citizenship, which she celebrated with friends and family. 2 years later, in 2021, Haddish paid another visit to Eritrea to celebrate New Year with her extended family. She shared videos of her experiences on her Instagram page with images and videos. Her posts consist of her dancing, receiving land, receiving a plaque bearing her name, and stating her address in Geza Keren, Eritrea. She even shows herself receiving her ID as well. "I am so happy to be welcomed by my grandfather's village so warmly," she wrote. One post shows a smiling Haddish snuggled up in what appeared to be a pile of quilts as she details her experience at a spa named TSH. Tiffany also revisited, again last year, and she used her social media platform to encourage her fellow African Americans to do the same. Now, while most of the celebrities on this list have retraced their steps to their ancestral homes in Africa, they have not moved in permanently. However, the next celebrity sent shockwaves around the world when he publicly announced that he intends to move to Ghana and settle permanently. We're talking about the legendary Stevie Wonder, one of America's greatest music Grammy Award-winning music star. His songs about love, peace and justice have touched hearts all around the world for decades. But as early as 1975, Wonder contemplated leaving America behind to settle in Ghana, which he believed would reconnect him to his ancestral roots. However, he decided to continue building his music career in the US after headlining a Ghanaian music festival in the 1990s. Despite this, his desire to settle in Ghana remained steadfast. During a subsequent visit to Ghana, Wonder found inspiration in the country's rich cultural heritage and penned his entire 1995 album, Conversation Piece. In a 2021 interview with Oprah, he revealed his intention to make Ghana his permanent residence, citing a desire to escape racial injustice in the US and to further immerse himself in the vibrant Ghanaian culture. Wonder's love affair with the country was ignited by the people he met whilst there. He once told the BBC that one of these encounters was with late Ghanaian President Jerry Rawlings, who in the 1990s hosted him at the presidential residence. I remember the late President Rawlings, who allowed me to be a co-pilot on a flight. I was able to fly with him from one end of Ghana to the other end, the north to the south, and it was amazing. Last year, Stevie Wonder celebrated his 74th birthday in a very special way. He became a citizen of Ghana. The legendary singer participated in a ceremony on May 13th, where he took the oath of allegiance and was granted his certificate of citizenship from the president of the West African nation. Flanked by his family and donning a scarf made of traditional kente cloth, Wonder was visibly delighted to have finally become Ghanaian. First and foremost, I give all praise to God. Since I was a young boy, I've always believed in my heart that nothing is impossible. Guided by the Spirit of the Most High, I've harboured the desire to come to Ghana for many years, he said in a video of the ceremony shared online. For over 50 years, I've discussed the idea of being a citizen of this country. Now, as a Ghanaian citizen, I am committed to fulfilling the dream we've cherished for so long, uniting people of African descent and the diaspora. The world can only achieve unity when we, as a global community, come together. He added, the fact that a star like Stevie Wonder would want to settle permanently in an African country means that there is something worthwhile here. And just like Stevie Wonder, the next celebrity is also planning on permanently settling in Africa. His name is Idris Elba. There is no one who has watched movies featuring Idris Elba that doesn't just like him and his personality. But unlike the rest of the celebrities on this list, Idris Elba actually knows where he originates from. Born in London, Elba, whose mother is from Ghana and father from Sierra Leone, has a strong attachment to Africa. Over the years, he has made multiple trips to Ghana, Tanzania, Sierra Leone and other countries in Africa, where he has built strong ties. A few months ago, in March 2025, Idris Elba made a groundbreaking announcement. He said that within the next decade, he plans to permanently move and settle in Africa as part of his plans to support Africa's movie industry. He wants to leverage his star power to back its burgeoning film business, as he says it is vital that Africans get to tell their own stories. I would certainly consider settling down here, not even consider. It's going to happen, he said in an interview on the sidelines of an industry meeting in Accra. I think I'll move in the next 5-10 years, God willing. I'm here to bolster the film industry. That is a 10-year process. I won't be able to do that from overseas. I need to be in country, on the continent. But in the spirit of Pan-Africanism, he will not commit to living in a specific place. I'm going to live in Accra, I'm going to live in Freetown, Sierra Leone's capital. I'm going to live in Zanzibar. I'm going to try and go where they're telling stories. That's really important. However, one of his major goals is to build a magnificent film studio in Accra. According to the filmmaker, the studio, which will be located on 22 acres of land beside Osu Castle, will provide training and opportunities for Ghanaians and serve as a major hub for African cinema. Elba's plans for Ghana's studio are part of his vision to build more across Africa, as he unveiled plans to establish a film studio in Zanzibar, Tanzania last year. Idris's plan to move to Africa is clearly as a result of his strong love and ties to the continent. The question is, if all these Nollywood stars can trace their way back to the continent and even consider staying, doesn't this mean that Africa has a lot to offer? What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video drop a comment, and subscribe to our channel.